The two of them walked from Chicago to Dubuque after they ran out of money on their way west. Neither spoke any English, but they followed the telegraph line on foot until they reached the family that was here in Iowa. My uncle had already started a small meatpacking business in Dubuque, and my father learned the trade from him before heading to Ackley, where he opened a bank. From meatpacking to banking, that's the Rath family for you. We didn't sit still very long. There was always something that needed to be done. My father's exchange bank was one of the most trusted in the region.
He came from Pennsylvania to join his own father, Abraham Boychel, in Orange Township, Iowa, back in 1863. Together, they became the first in what would grow into a long lineage of medical Bickleys in Black Hawk County. My mother, Anna Good Bickley, was a woman of remarkable skill and endurance. She took to quilting in her later years, over 300 quilts after the age of 80. From her, I learned patience and perseverance.
I was born in 1793 in Hunterdon County, New Jersey, when this nation was still a fragile experiment and the frontier was a rumor whispered by restless men. I never imagined I would find myself so far west in this Iowa soil, where I have watched a rippling prairie become a home. I married my William in 1815. Just after the War of 1812. He served in that war, a Kentucky militiaman, steady and strong, and together we built a life in Lexington, Kentucky. 12 children were born to us there, each one a blessing and a responsibility in a hard but hopeful world. When our James was 9, we packed up everything we owned and moved to Wayne County, Illinois. This was a common migration for the time, heading west to establish farms before making the great plunge to head for the frontier. It was a wilder land than we were used to, of course, but we knew how to make do, clearing fields, planting crops, raising children. And still the frontier called. One by one, our children set out in search of something new. By the mid-1840s, they had begun to scatter further west, toward a small settlement on the Cedar River called Prairie Rapids Crossing. Our James Monroe came first in 1846, staking a claim and building a cabin near the water, one of the very first white Americans in this area. Just a few moments, we hear from the final spirit on our tour today, the Honorable Henry Grout. Sir, will you tell us your story?
My name is Henry Whittemore Grout. You know, they let me join the early settlers society, but I didn't really settle anywhere. I was born here in 1858 that is. Sam and Harriet Grout were my parents. They came here in 56 from Massachusetts. I was the youngest of 6. I was educated here in public schools and then attended seminary. Not the end of the clergy, mind you, but just common fact that was the secondary education option. I grew up here in Waterloo during the War of the Rebellion. The less said of those years, the better. The nation in those years has been referred to as a republic of suffering, and that's right. 13,000 Iowa boys found early graves in those years, fighting in the South